first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Following items which concern reports and items of routine nature normally approved by AHA meetings will be approved by one vote unless any trustee desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Consent agenda consists of discussion, consideration, and action on the following items. Minutes of the monthly finance meeting, June 25th. Minutes of the monthly trustee meeting, June 25th. Check report, June 10 to July 9. So I hear a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
Lost my paper.
Hannaford,
Yes.
Sill,
Yes.
Sun,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
This doesn't take long. Call that. CEO's report.
All right. We're going for a record here, the shortest meeting, all right? And then we'll blame Jason for longer meetings. No. Okay, so we are, we've talked about putting the Epic project off for a year. Also, obviously, that puts us kind of in a tense situation with our server room because it is aged. And so what we're doing, we've spoken with St. Anthony last week, and they gave us a couple of different ideas to look at possibilities of a kind of a backup contingency plan, much like you would put into place for a disaster type situation, whether tornadoes, flood, fire, whatever. So, Kevin, have you talked to anybody yet on that?
Yeah, Alan's working with, is talking to the company that they
Okay.
suggested.
So what they said is, if we contract with one of these companies, typically what they can do is put your operations on their server, and you can function off of that until you're up and running again. And typically they can most likely get you back up in 24 hours. So that's kind of what we're looking for at this point. Meditech, I think, has a solution, and then a vendor, a different vendor, would have something that we can look at. So that's what we're going to be looking at soon to take care of that. The Quality Assurance Committee, QAPI Committee, reviewed the D&B corrective action plan, and all of those items are in place and continue to be monitored. We do have to send proof of information to D&B that we can show them that we are actively working on those corrections on an ongoing basis going forward. We've been slow as far as, well, honestly, the inpatient and outpatient volumes have both dropped, which is typical for this time of month. It's just probably going to be harder on us now that we're critical access, and we, going forward, will need to prepare for that kind of differently than we have in the past, being PPS. So it's pretty tight. Kevin will kind of go over those things with you in just a little bit. A couple of our nurses, Gentry Lancaster has been accepted into the RN program here at Northwestern. She begins next month. And then Teresa is going to OSU OKC to get her RN. And Jesus, which is an LPN with us, he will start the program at NOC in August. So we're pretty excited about that. We also have, if you've probably seen our Facebook splash on recruitment retention for RNs. We have hired 3, and so we're terribly excited about being able to eventually get off the contract nursing contracts that we have that are so terribly expensive. That's the goal. And so with Mark's help in the social media campaign, we're able to get 3 nurses, so we're pretty excited about that. And kudos to Heather and her staff. Upfront collections, nearly $50,000 for June, which is Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for me? Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve or disapprove CEO's report?
So moved.
Second.
It's gotta be.
I make a motion to accept the CEO's report.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Self, second by Ava. Simon?
Hannaford,
Yes.
Sil,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
CFO's report.
Okay. For the month of June, like Candace said, our volumes were down, outpatient as well as inpatients. And of course, with the volumes being down, so was our revenue. So for the month of June, we posted $1,731,195. That was a decrease of $53,000, a little over $53,000 compared to the prior month. Patient days were actually up a little bit. The outpatient clinic visits were down. We went from 1,228 in May down to 1,058 in June. Charity care, our bad debts and contractuals less charity care was 55.4% of gross patient revenue. We wrote $120,785 off to the collection agency. We gave away $23,370 in charity care services last month. And our net operating loss for June was $195,825, but after sales tax and any contributions, we ended up losing $101,356. If you flip over to page 2, of course, the revenue is down. Really, the only other area that is down quite a bit is our sales tax. We went from $107,000 in May down to $95,615, and that's about a $12,000 drop. And I think that's probably because school's out and there's just less activity going on in town. So anyway, you have to go back 4 months to see revenue down as far as sales tax that far back. Page 4 is our 2 years side by side at the end of the year. You can see for the year we're going to post about $1.9 million more in gross revenue. We should get a little over $1 million more from that. Last year at this time we were losing almost $1.9 million. This year we're at a $915,630 loss. Now there'll be some adjustments. The auditors will be here the very last week in August to do their audit. But if you remember, I told you that we're conservative about. I can only book what actually Medicare has paid us. We know that there's some receivables there too, so I expect this number to look better once the audit gets done. But you can see that we come to critical access. We've almost got a full year underneath our belt. It made over right at $1 million difference. We're still working on 2 programs that will get implemented late this year or early next year, which is the Rural Health Clinic as well as our 340B plan, which will also help our operational functions as well. So we're getting there. It's just a slow process. We have to go through CMS and all that to get all the paperwork and stuff done. So, and like I said, we've got all the paperwork submitted and everything, so we're still working on that. Cash at the end of June actually was better than the end of May. It was $117,322. But I can tell you that we are very tight on cash though, with the volumes being down. We're just going to have to watch what we're doing. We're doing a good job of that, but I just want you to know that for the next 2 or 3 months until we get some volumes back, it's just going to be tight cash-wise. Pages 6 and 7 is our accounts receivable. 8 and 9, of course, your balance sheet. And if you flip through pages 10 through 13, that's our statistical graphs that shows your patient days, clinic visits, ER visits, and stuff like that. And it's just it's the time of the season, because if you look at the 5-year comparisons in most of those areas, those months were historically lower than the other months. So it's just kind of a lull that we get into for the summertime. You know, people like to go on vacation and go to see doctors. They're not got the flu. I mean, it's all those things that figure into that. So, is there any questions I can answer as far as the financials? If not, one thing I wanted to say is we probably will have a special board meeting here just real soon. We had roof damage back in early spring. We're finally getting the quotes and stuff. We're trying to get the final quote in, but it's going to be greater than $25,000 to repair the roof. So we're going to have a special meeting for you guys to approve that roof repair. So once we get the actual quote in hand, we will bring that to you guys. Just have a real quick meeting and do that, just so you're aware of that. So.
Any questions to give?
things to tell y'all. We kept the same officers with me, Chief of Staff and Dr. Lawrence as Vice Chief. We approved mid-step bylaws. Do we need to vote on that?
Yeah, we will hear in a minute.
Okay. And then we approved the new dietary manual that was reviewed. Otherwise, I don't have anything to report.
Coffee?
I think Candace pretty much told you in her report what we did for Quappy is just reviewing the DMV stuff, making sure we get it all together. We'll send them a report sometime in September, so everything looks good.
Improvement to patient care.
The contracts, we reviewed them, there was none of them that was out of line, so we, just so you guys don't have, you don't have to have any action on that, but we did review some contracts.
We do have 3 items to need approval. The AHA bylaws were reviewed,
And there was no changes made to them, just so you know, we have something we have to do on an annual basis, and we're getting to this time of the season, we're gonna have manuals every month for several months here, so just so you get ready for it.
I move to approve the AHA bylaws.
Second.
motion by Simon, second by Hanford, to approve the bylaws.
Sil,
Yeah.
Simon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Next one is mid-staff bylaws.
Make a motion that we approve the mid-step bylaws.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by Hanford, to approve the mid-staff bylaws.
Simon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Hannaford,
Yes.
Sil.
Yes.
Last one, 3, is the dietary manual.
Make a motion we approve the dietary manual.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Self, second by Simon, to approve the dietary manual.
Brown,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Hannaford,
Yes.
Sil,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
And we come down to the convalescent home.
Okay, Kelly is out, so I'm gonna do that for you guys tonight. For the month of June, we posted $296,451. Really, the items to look at is salaries was up, and part of that was due to, we do PTO accrual once a year, and based upon who we have and how much vacation time, there was an adjustment. I had to make about $10,000 there for accrual for PTO time. The other area, the reason it was up was with him hiring all the new staff, which is really good, we have to orientate them. So sometimes it looked like we were double staffed the whole time, but in the long run, we're going to be a lot better off. So that's the reason we've seen the salaries go up there as well. Otherwise, everything was about the same. We ended up losing $32,172, or 30 before they got some interest of $32,164. But I expect July moving forward we should be good. Like I said, he's hired the people, he's now got them all orientated and stuff. It takes about 30 days, so we should see a big improvement as we move forward. I think we're doing a real good job over there. The 2 years side by side, you can see we had less patient days is really what it is. We ended up about $200,000 less in gross patient revenue. Our expenses were up, or we were almost identical, but they were up mainly in other expenses by over $100,000 for the year, but most of that was due to the contract labor that we had. And with now finding staff and stuff, that's going to go way back down. So it'll be a lot, like I said, a lot better year. Last year we were at $261,000 net profit. This year we look like we're about a $48,000 loss. The next pages is just their statistical summaries and balance sheets. So, is there any questions? I think Kelly's doing good over there. Finally get some staff like we are kind of here at the hospital. That's going to make a difference to us. Our bottom line, contract labor is expensive. This thing.
Is there a possible way to pull that out on its own line on the financials going forward so we can see the positive change that we
Sure.
expect to have happen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Because that would help us gauge that
Yeah, I can do that.
progress.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll use that as an extra line.
Perfect, thank you.
Any questions, Kevin, on the nursing home? Homestead report.
Christie is out too, so I'm gonna do her report.
I did nothing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Did you get the short straw?
That's all right, that's not a big deal. Revenue was almost the same, well, the residents, they run about the same. The mill revenue is down, you know, that kind of cycles up and down based upon when we get the mill change in the gel. And so it was down this month, you can see it'll be back up in July, I can tell you that. Even with that with that decrease in revenue up there, about $8,000, we still made $17,253. And the 2 years side by side, the homestead did better in 2019 than 2018. They had a $226,000 profit this year compared to $176,000 profit the prior year. So it's doing well. So any questions on that one?
Anything from the foundation? No report from the foundation. And we have no one here from St. Anthony's. City council report.
I was gone at a recruiting event, but just a few highlights. They are going to work on a pressure pump on 4th and Oklahoma, which will help the water pressure west of 14th Street. We are moving forward on getting some bids on the professional building roof. We also had some issues down there. And then obviously I think the big news last night was the public hearing for the swimming pool again. And they moved to the swimming pool to do that. From what I understand, lively conversation on both sides, good information, good conversation. So continue to move forward on that with the vote coming in August.
And I have nothing as a vice chairman's report, so is there any new business?
5:49.
Take that.
Hearing no new business, I would declare that we